everyone! Today we are going to be doing a brush declutter because I have been delaying this for so long and I was like, I need to have all my brushes clean if I'm going to do a brush declutter. So I washed all of my brushes, even the ones that I haven't really been using a lot lately, but I wanted to make sure that they were all clean so that when I declutter these, I can give them away to my friends because I know a lot of my friends are probably going to use a lot of these brushes more than I do, and I'm also kind of picky when it comes to brushes. I've definitely learned what I like in a brush and I have my favorites that I keep reaching for over and over and over again. So I have a bunch of eye brushes here. Like, obviously too much, I don't need all of these, and I also have a bunch of face brushes, half of which I probably never use, so we're gonna go through all of these. I'm going to try to keep this pretty quick because, as you can see, there's a lot, so I think we're just gonna start off with the face brushes here. So I'm going to put them all out on the table so we can go through these together. Alright, how is this for an arrangement? I think we're just going to keep it to this. So let's first start off with my referral brushes. Obviously, I'm going to keep all of these because I just absolutely love them. So I'm going to sort out all of my referral brushes. So here are all of my referral brushes. I put them in my little face brush holder here because this is a collaboration that I did with Popstash. Popstash is an Etsy seller. If you didn't already know about this collab, I talked about it in a couple of videos, but I did a collab with her in which I kind of designed 3 brush holders here. So we have one that says face, one that says be fearless, and then the other one says eyes. So these are for sale now for $12 each, and you can also buy them as a set. They are also very customizable, so you can customize the text on all of these. You can customize, the cups themselves. You can have them be white. You can make different designs on them. You can really do whatever you want. So I will link these down below. If you want to buy something, you can use my code Annette10 for 10% off at checkout. And yeah, that's going to be it. I just thought I would mention them because I'm so bad at promoting these babies. But honestly, I have my brushes in these all the time and they make me smile so much every time I look at them because, I mean, who can say they have a brush holder that they designed themselves, you know? So this is just really cool. So go ahead and check them out if you're interested because I would really appreciate it if you would check them out. Alright, so let's move on. So this is a brush that I got from Crown. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm. It looks like it's shedding a little bit, but I really like this brush for cream blush and stuff, so I'm definitely going to keep this. So here's a foundation brush that I have. This is from Marc Jacobs. This thing was expensive. I think it was like 50 something dollars. This is the Phase 3 foundation brush. I like this brush a lot, but it's such a pain in the ass to clean, but I'm obviously going to keep it because it is a great brush. Here's another foundation brush. This one is from Pinky Rose. I don't love this. I don't find it to be really dense enough to apply foundation with, even though it's the perfect shape brush that I like for my foundations, but I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this because I just never reach for it. I'm also going to declutter this one. This is a double-ended brush from Sephora collection. I just can't with these double-ended brushes. I'm sorry, they're just so annoying and it's so hard to store them and I just never reach for them. So I'm gonna keep this one though. This is a Real Techniques foundation brush. I love this brush. This is one of my favorite foundation brushes at the moment. Alright, so here are 2 brushes that are super similar. These are just very big, very soft, fluffy brushes. I'm going to keep both of these. This one is from Moda. I'm pretty sure I got this in a box, and the other one is the Morphe G7. I love these for like any kind of powders, setting my face, like buffing with a finishing powder. These are just amazing and they are so soft. I love both of these. Here's a small brush that I also got in a set. This is a Luxie 512 brush. I never use this. I never know what to use this for. It's a weird size for me. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. I'm sure there's a lot of things I could use this for, but I'm just gonna give this to a friend instead because I just never reach for this. I'm also gonna go ahead and declutter this BH Cosmetics brush. I just don't like this. It's a little bit scratchy and I'm way more of a soft brush kind of person. So for that reason, I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to also probably declutter this Betsey Johnson one. It's just a little bit too big to be like a bronzer brush, and I don't really like using this size brush for my blush, and I just don't really know what I would do with this brush, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one. I think I'm also going to declutter this Eco Tools brush. I used to use this for bronzer, but I don't know. I have my referral brushes now and I just use those every day and I absolutely love them. So this one doesn't get any love at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one as well. And I'm going to try to be kind of ruthless with these because I do want to be left with just brushes that I know I'm going to use all the time. So here's another foundation brush. This is the Morphe Y6. This used to be all the rage back in the day, but I realized that I don't like flat top kabuki brushes for my foundation, so I'm going to declutter this one. Here is a Luxie 660 brush. It says Precision Foundation. I would never use this for a foundation. I don't know what to do with this. I mean, it's a nice brush. It's really good quality. I feel like I could use this for probably blush. I don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and hang on to this just because I think it's a very good brush. I just don't give it enough love. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep this because I feel like I will be able to get some use out of that if I just know I have it in my collection and it's in front of me. This is another brush that I'm absolutely going to keep. I love this for setting underneath my eyes. This is the Wet n Wild P65 brush, one of my absolute favorites. This is also one of my absolute favorites. I use this one on a daily basis. This is my go-to powder brush for setting my face. This is from a brand called Motto. I got this on Amazon. I would say I would link everything down below if I can find them, but I probably won't be able to, and it's just going to be too much work. But this is from Matto, like I said, it's a M-A-T-T-O. If you want to go look it up on Amazon, you can, but I don't think I'll be able to link all of these, so I'm not even going to try, but I'm going to keep this. Now let's look at some of these BH Cosmetics neon brushes. I bought this set because it's just really cute and I like the color of the handles, but honestly, I just don't really ever use any of these because the bristles on these face brushes are just too long for my liking and they're just a little bit too big. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter both of these two. I'm also going to declutter this one. I just don't know what to use this for. I mean, it's just weird. I've been using it for like my eye primer, but it's kind of too big for that. And it's just a little bit too clunky and dense to be a concealer brush. So I don't really know. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one as well. And I don't really need any suggestions on how to use any of these brushes. Like, I obviously know that there's different ways to use different brushes, and if I wanted to, I could experiment, but honestly, I just don't really care. I know what I like, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of the ones that I am a little bit confused by, that I don't really know what to do with. So this is the Morphe Y14 highlighting brush, and I really like this. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. I have been using more dense brushes with my highlighters lately, but this one is nice for certain kinds of formulas, so I'm definitely going to keep this. This one I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. This is also a BH Cosmetics brush that I got in a brush set, and it's still dirty because I suck at cleaning the handles when I clean my brushes because I try not to get my handles too wet. But I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. It's just a little bit too short. I don't know. I feel like all of the short-handled brushes that I have just kind of get lost in my collection. Or actually, maybe I should keep this for like travel purposes because I do have some smaller brushes here too. Maybe that's what I'll do, and I'll just kind of store them in my bathroom for when I need them. I think that's actually quite a good idea. And I'm gonna keep this one as well then. I'm just gonna keep all of my like short-handled brushes that I actually like. So these are, or this I should say, is one of the Sephora brushes that I got for like my birthday or something. Here's a small Real Techniques brush. This is good for, you know, setting and stuff, and I'm also going to keep this one, which is also from Sephora collection. It's probably going to be good for a blush brush, and I don't know why all of these are still dirty, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and keep all of these and just store them in a separate space and not with all of these brushes, and then I'll bring these when I travel because I do have quite a few travels coming up in the next like 6 months or so, so these are actually going to be really good for that. Here's a highlighting brush from Shop Miss A. I don't love this brush. It honestly reminds me a lot of my Sigma brush, and it's supposed to be a dupe for this. But the Shop Miss A brush is just way, way, way flimsier and not as dense, and it's not really what I was looking for. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this to a friend because I feel like a lot of people would really like this brush. It's just that I'm so used to my Sigma brush and I like how dense this is. So I'm always going to pick my Sigma brush over my Shop Miss A brush. And I think what highlighting brushes is that you don't really need to wash them that often because they just don't really get that dirty. I mean, it's just powder. You can just kind of wipe it off. So I'm gonna get rid of my Shop Miss A brush here and I'm going to keep my Sigma brush. This is the FO3 highlighting brush. Absolutely love this. Here's another brush that I used to be absolutely in love with. This is the Japanesque brush. It doesn't have a name on it because it's like rubbed off because I used it so much, but this was my go-to blush brush. I absolutely love this. I just haven't really been reaching for it lately. It is a good brush though, so I think I am gonna go ahead and keep it because I do have a lot of different blushes and it's nice to have, you know, a couple of different brushes for that purpose just because I have a lot of different colored blushes. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this because I do use it from time to time. This is one of my favorite concealer brushes. I absolutely love this. This is from the BH Cosmetics marble brush set. This is the number 6 brush. I love this. This is so good. Here's another one from the same set. This is a stippling brush. I'm gonna keep this one as well. I like to use this for like cream blush. And I'm also going to keep this brush, which is one of my favorite foundation brushes. This is the number, do you have a number on it still? No, you do not. So these ones are actually my go-tos for foundation and concealer, and I've been using these ever since I got them. Definitely going to keep all of these 3. Do I have any other ones? Okay, so I do have this one from the same set as well. This one is just a little bit too big for my liking. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this because I have other powder brushes that I like more. And I find that I don't really need to have a lot of powder brushes because I can use the same one over and over and over and over because it's just powder. Like there's no color on the powder, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give this to my friend because I think she's going to really like this. Here's my Hourglass foundation brush. I am going to keep this, but I'm going to put this in with the travel brushes because it is so small. It just gets lost in my collection. Honestly, I feel that way with so many of these brushes that they're just so short that they kind of drown in all of the other brushes that I have. So I'm gonna put this in with my travel brushes instead, and hopefully I'll get some more use out of it that way because I feel like I'll be more likely to reach for it. Here's another foundation brush. This is from NYX. I bought this not that long ago and I just don't really like it, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this one away as well. So here's one of my Clionadh brushes. They actually sent me the stained glass collection set and I absolutely love these brushes. I think they are so beautiful. This is a great powder brush. I could also use this for like a finishing powder. It's super soft. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. I'm gonna declutter this one. This is from Real Techniques. I just don't like the shape of this and I just have other brushes that I like more. Here is a Sigma flat top kabuki brush. This is the F80. I feel like this one was all the hype not that long ago and I hate this brush. This is probably my least favorite foundation brush in my collection. I just found that my foundation goes on very streaky when I use this kind of brush to apply it with. I don't like the bristles. I think that they are not dense enough and they're also just kind of sharp. I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm gonna go ahead and give this to someone as well because I don't like this. I am going to keep this little e.l.f. Concealer brush. I think this one is good for if I do one eye look and I need to touch up before doing another eye look. If I've only taken off like my eye makeup, this is great for just applying a little bit of concealer again, so I'm gonna keep this. This Morphe brush is the Y6. I used to really like this for a blush, but I've just found other brushes that I like more for the same purpose. So I'm gonna give this to someone because this is honestly a great brush. I feel like all of the gold handled brushes from Morphe have been really good, at least the ones that I've tried. So I'm gonna give this to someone else who is probably going to get a lot more use out of it. Now for these OMFG Cosmetics brushes, they actually sent me these and I think that they are super cute, but I just never reach for them. I mean, they're just not my kind of shaped brushes. I feel like the quality of these are really, really nice. They're super soft, but like I said, I just never reach for them. So I feel like someone else will get more use out of these in their collection than me. And I am probably going to keep the eye brushes that I have because I do use some of those, but all the face brushes here, I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter these. I think I'm also gonna go ahead and declutter this crown brush. I used to use this for my bronzer for a while, but I've just gotten my referral brushes and I'm so set on using those and I keep using them every day, and I would rather get more use out of expensive brushes than trying to reach for something that's just okay that I don't really love. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one as well. And I'm also going to declutter this Wet n Wild brush. I don't really know why I bought this. I honestly don't know what I would use this for because it is so flimsy and it's too thick to be a highlighting brush. So I could see maybe like using it to wipe away fallout or something, but I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this because I never reach for it. I'm also going to declutter this Morphe E57 brush. I guess this is like a concealer slash foundation brush, but I never use flat concealer brushes like this for anything. I feel like this is more of like a makeup artist type brush that you would use to apply foundation onto someone's skin before blending it out with a sponge or something. I never use this. I'm gonna declutter it. I'm also going to declutter this one. This is from Moda. I got this in a set in a box and it's just so flimsy. Like, I don't know what I would use this for. I guess like a super pigmented blush maybe. It's way too big to be a highlighting brush. This brush just confuses me. I'm also going to declutter this one. This is the Sephora highlighting brush. It's just gotten a little bit too fluffy for me and it's just a little too big. I don't know, I used to use this for a while, but it's just not really doing it for me anymore. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. I think I'm gonna keep this one though. This is like a $1 brush. I don't even know where I got this. I feel like I got this in like a super cheap set from Shein or something. I don't know, but I really like this brush for bronzer, so I'm gonna keep this. And here is another one of the Luxie brushes that I ended up keeping earlier because I did get 2 sets in 2 different boxes at some point. This one is a little bit deformed, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one because I can't stand when brushes like end up losing their shape or they come crooked and then they never end up going back to their original shape. I just can't with brushes like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one. Here's a Sephora collection, also like a flat top foundation brush that's very dirty because I have used it quite a bit. I used to really like this, but I've just realized that I don't like these kind of brushes for a foundation, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one as well. I'm also going to declutter this MAC brush. It's the 116S. I never use flat brushes like this for anything. I just don't, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. I'm gonna keep this. This is one of my favorite foundation brushes. I think this is a crown brush. I could be mistaken, it doesn't say anything on it, so obviously I've used it a lot because everything is rubbed off, but I really like brushes that are dense but still fluffy and kind of have like a dome top to them instead of being completely flat. I find that this one just blends out foundations way better, so I'm definitely going to keep this. I am also going to keep both of these two. I love these for concealer. These are my favorite kind of brushes to use with concealer. This one is the Smashbox Cream Cheek Brush, and this one is the Morphe M335. Going to keep both of these. I absolutely love these and I reach for them both on a daily basis. This is an Eco Tools brush. This is a face mask brush and that's what I use it for, so I'm gonna keep this. I'm also going to keep this one. This is another one of the BH Cosmetics brushes. I use this for a highlighting brush and I think it's great for super intense highlighters that you want to only pick up a little bit on. It's great for that, so I'm gonna keep this. And this is another brush from Real Techniques. I'm gonna declutter this because I don't like flat brushes for concealer, so those are going to be all of my face brushes. I think we should get into doing the eye brushes now because I think that's going to take a little bit more time.